Here we go. Okay. So you're a moderate teacher, and you've been teaching for 10 years?
About 10 years, yeah.
Okay. So some of the questions I wanted to ask have to deal with behaviorism. The first one is, what does behaviorism mean to you?
Behaviorism is the desired student behavior I want to see in the classroom.
Okay.
And something that the students can generalize and do in any environment.
Okay. The second question, do you think behaviors can be changed or conditioned?
Yeah, I think behaviors can be changed. I think with a lot of our behavior modifications techniques that we implement in the classroom, we can change their behavior.
Okay. What do you believe would be a greater behavior change? Positive reinforcement or punishment?
Well, for long-term positive reinforcement, punishment only works for a short-term fix, and we want that long-term goal, so it'd be positive reinforcement.
Okay. Can you give an example of positive reinforcement you've used in the past, or that's being used in your class currently?
Well, I think we all praise students when they're behaving properly. That's the most common behavior, positive reinforcement, and we don't give the attention or reward the negative behaviors. So I know in my classroom I use a token economy system where the kids earn classroom money, for doing all the things that they're required to do, follow classroom rules, do their assignments, and when they do that and anything extra, they earn more classroom money.
And this is the first year you've implemented this token economy system?
Yes, because it entails a whole banking system where it's a checking account and they have to make deposits and keep a check register. And this is the first full year I've done moderate, and before that it was moderate severe. So this is a different level of students.
Okay. Can you give an example of negative reinforcement you've used in the past, or that you're using currently, or that you've used currently?
Well, I don't plan to use negative reinforcement, but sometimes you just accidentally, reward that student that's misbehaving. They want to go outside and, or they use the excuse that they want to go to the bathroom, and you let them, and then they walk around the campus for half an hour, and that's what they wanted. And so, it's not intentional, but I think as teachers we've all learned the hard way, when we've accidentally reinforced that negative behavior.
Right. Okay. The next question: Have you ever used a behavioral contract with a misbehaving student? And if yes, did it work to change the student's behavior?
Yes, I've used behavior contracts with students, and there again, the students were at the moderate level. It's a little bit more difficult when they were at the moderate severe level to use a behavior contract. There's more of an instant reward system or token economy system, but at the moderate level, I've been able to sit down and actually done a contract, with the parent, student, and myself, where we have a daily report, and the student, whenever they've broken one of the rules or whatever we've agreed on, they'll actually have to write what they could have done differently.
Okay. The next question. Extinction in behaviorism means to decreasing the probability of a response by contingent withdrawal or of a previously reinforced stimulus. Can you give an example of when extinction that you've used extinction, or in the past or now?
Yeah, I used a reward system. It was in a moderate, severe classroom, and there was a student who would sort of just have a tantrum or flop down on the floor when he didn't want to do work or just didn't want to leave the classroom. And we put a timer, and it started off, we used the penny system where he earned 5 pennies, and then he would get a choice of either doing a puzzle or computer time. It was his decision, and it started off with just 2-minute increments. If he didn't have one of his tantrums for 2 minutes, he got to put a penny on, and the timer, every time the timer would go off, he earned another penny. And then it went to 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and actually he started controlling the timer, and he would put longer increments of time until he was up to 30 minutes to earn a penny. So that's more than half of the school day, and he was really proud of himself, and it got to the point where we didn't even have to use the timer, and he would just have a set time where he could go on the computer or do puzzles, and he was fine with that. So it took about I would say 7 to 8 months, but that's actually, I thought, was a pretty good rate for him to just completely extinct that behavior of flopping down on the floor.
Okay. The next question. Can you give an example of positive modeling that you've used now or in the past?
Positive modeling. Well, that would be more of trying to be a role model. I know as a teacher, just show the students respect, and I've found that it's easier with the moderate students just because you can talk to them about it, and you can discuss what showing respect is and what receiving or earning respect is. You can have those kind of discussions, what that kind of modeling would look like.
Okay. And can you explain the difference or give examples between modeling and shaping?
Well, modeling, you go through the whole process, and you would show them what you would expect and have them practice it, and you could give your feedback on it, while shaping is more in little segments or chunked. So you would give them that feedback after just little parts of it. So it's sort of like what they call chaining. So I think shaping or chaining, it works a little better for the moderate severe, but I think overall it can be for any of the students because we all learn in little steps.
Yeah. Okay. And the last question, do you find that, or are intrinsic or extrinsic rewards more important when changing behavior?
I think it's hard for some of our students to understand intrinsic rewards. They all respond really well to the extrinsic rewards, but I think as they get a little older and a little more mature, and they start wanting to do things for themselves and feel that intrinsic rewards. But initially, I think it's the extrinsic rewards that they respond.
They respond more
to.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.